Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this short tutorial, I will tell you how to use and configure mail merge in LibreOffice 7. So let's first start by understanding the concept of mail merge. Here we see a small group of people who have registered to volunteer for a climate action group. They have filled in an online form that has been captured in a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel. In this particular case, it is LibreOffice Calc. So here we see 5 fields. These are the 5 items of information that we requested everybody to fill in on the online form, and that got finally lodged in this Excel sheet or LibreOffice Calc sheet. The first name, last name, city, member code, and group. So these are the 2 fields that we have later on entered, but people actually filled in these 3 fields. This person has been assigned this member code and has been allotted to this group. This person has been assigned this member code and allotted to this group, and likewise for this particular person. Now we want to send a communication to each one of them, telling them their member code and also the group to which they have been assigned. Now this list can actually be 500 people. This could be 5,000 people. So sending a letter to each one of them, providing them with their individual details, if done manually, could be a very big task. So what we try to do then is to create a stock letter, and we have used language, and at points we are using fields in this stock letter. So this letter has actually been written inside LibreOffice Writer. It can also be written inside Microsoft Word. So here we have written dear, and we have inserted a field, or at least we want to insert a field, and your details are as below. So we have used words and then we have used fields, and these fields A, C, D, E are exactly the same as the ones that we have used here, A, C, D, E. So we are just simply replacing, and what we are hoping to do is that if we could connect this letter with this sheet, we could actually then send out individual letters without actually having to write them individually. So what mail merge does basically is to establish this kind of connection. LibreOffice Writer 7. Mail merge is a feature inside LibreOffice Writer 7. And what it does basically is that it connects a stock letter to a sheet, and the result is this. By the click of a button, you can just simply automatically send letters to each person in this list. These could actually be 5,000 or 6,000 people, but your effort is just to press one button, and each of these people will get either by email, or you can also do a printed letter which can then be put inside an envelope and then sent across to each of these people. So you would note that in the first letter, the first name has come from here, and the node is actually the city. So this information for the first person has come from here. This information has come from here, and finally the group information has come from the group, and likewise for the second person, and likewise for the third person. In each case, we are actually advancing the field forward and picking up the correct field and replacing it inside the letter. So this is what mail merge basically tries to do. It connects a stock letter to a list or a data source, and then with the press of a button, it prints the first letter, replacing the fields that you have mentioned in the letter, picking them up from the first row, and then it will go back again and write the second letter, but this time around it will pick up the fields from the second row. Then it will go back again and write, and it will continue doing this till such time that it has actually finished all the people in the list. So it is a great feature, and it can be used to send personalized letters to a large number of people. There can be numerous use cases. You can actually reach out to customers, you can reach out to potential clients, and when they receive the letter, they would not come to know that this letter has actually been created using a program and has actually not been written individually or typed individually by a person. So let's start and see how we can actually do this. So here I have a sheet in which I have recorded the title, the first name, the last name, address, city, degree, the email address of people who have registered to campaign for the hypothetical climate action group, and we have assigned them with a member code, the group what is the theme of the group, and who is the chair of the group. So we have a sheet in Calc or Excel, and this is the sheet that we are going to use as a data source. What we also have is a letter. So we had mentioned about a stock letter. So this is a stock letter, and it's basically trying to communicate to each of those members the group to which they have been assigned and their member code. When this letter is connected to that sheet, these things inside the square brackets will actually be replaced from the sheet, and hence the letter will appear to be extremely customized. So let us see how to do this. We will just simply go to Tools, and then we'll go and pick up Mail Merge. So this is the Mail Merge wizard. We'll just go ahead and click on it. So it opens up a wizard, and what we also want to do is to have a small address block on top, like letters have normally. So that would be the person to whom the letter is addressed. So the name of the person, the address, the city, and the state, and so on and so forth. So that's going to come here. I have not specifically mentioned about that in this particular letter, but it's going to come. So we will just start, and the first thing it says, select starting document. It says, will you like to create a new document, or should we be using the current document? So as I've already typed my letter, I'm just going to use the default, that is use the current document, move forward. Comes to step 2, it says, are you writing a letter or an email message? So if my purpose was to actually send this letter via an email message, I would actually click here. But let's just go ahead and just try to see a letter. So the idea here is that I will be creating a printed letter that I'll put in an envelope and then send it across. Now it wants an address list. So I'm just going to come here and pick add. So I'm going to come here and click on my address list and OK. So it is showing me what it has actually picked up and what kind of address it is trying to create for me. That is the address block, which is going to appear here. So I see that it is just basically telling me that something has not been matched. Come here and match these fields. It says that the fields are not matched. I can just come here. The problem is that the names of the field are not understandable to LibreOffice 7 Writer. So what we are going to do is we will just scroll down and see what it could not understand. Address line 1 has been picked up quite well. City for some reason was not picked. I'm saying information about the city is in the city field. I guess that's just about it. So what I can also do is I can go to more and I can edit. So I don't have a zip, so I can just simply remove this. And I have first name, last name. I can also actually include a title. So I'll just bring this here and click. So you can actually move all this up, down, left, right. And if you click on something and then move it, a blank space is created. So that is also possible. So I think I don't have a company name also for this example. So I'm just going to keep moving this and create an address that is quite suitable to what I have in my file. So it's showing me what I have here because I have very limited fields. I'm just kind of customizing the address to what I want it to show. So I have created this. It's working well for me. And then I'll just say, okay, all fields are now filled. And then I can just simply move to next. So it's saying, do you want a salutation? I will not bother with this because I will create something of my own, which is very easy to do. So I'm going to delete whatever it is going to insert from here. And then I'll just go to next. Finally, it is showing me how far from the top it is going to create the address box. So this is like way down. So the standard could actually be just about an inch. So I'm just to come down and I can always move this manually also. So I don't need to be too much worried about this. And that's just about it. So I'm just going to come here and press finish. So my letter now has an address block. So I can just reduce it. I can then just go to insert and put in a date. So I come to insert field and put in a date. I will right align the date and then double click on it and then change its format to something that is more amenable in terms of a letter. So that's just about it. Now, what I'm going to do is I have a toolbar now appearing for me once I have connected my sheet to this particular letter. So as I move forward, you will see that the address block is having different items that it is picking from the sheet. So this is the first one coming from here, the second one is coming from here, and the third one is coming from here. I see that there is a problem because it is actually repeating this particular name again. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click on this data source. So it opens up all the fields for me. And what I can do is I can just simply delete this and then just simply catch hold of this and bring the first name and drop it here. So as I move forward now or backward, this problem is taken care of. So I can actually pick up any field and bring it here. And that is exactly what I propose to do right here. So for title, I'm just going to grab hold of this title and bring it here and drop it at the place where I have written my title. And I'm going to just simply delete it. So the red ones are just for understanding. They need not be there, but I've just marked them such that it is possible for you to relate with what is happening. So for last name, I'm going to delete last name and then just catch hold of last name and drop it here. We will deal with the color later on. We'll just simply select everything and turn it into black. Remember the wizard trying to insert a salutation. So I think this is what it tried to do, and it's garbage for me because I've already done my salutation line. So I'm just going to delete this. And that's just about it. My letter continues. So I have to just simply go ahead and insert these fields. So I will just bring in the degree and drop it here near degree, and then just go ahead and delete this. Maybe I can just change the color of this one also right now and change it to normal black. So then the next one is group name. So I'm going to just catch hold of group name, keep my left mouse button depressed and drag it and drop it here. You may find that in the process of doing so, the letter is going up and down. So it might be like a moving target, but then it's okay. You can just simply bring it back again and drop it. Group theme. So catch hold of it and bring it here. And then just delete the placeholder or the marker that I had put in. Group theme. That's it. And then group chair. So this is the field I'm going to pick up here and drop it here. So you see, I'm just simply dropping in the fields that I want to change in this letter for every individual recipient, and then just simply grabbing it and dropping it here. So member code, and this is the final one for this letter. So I'm just going to pick up the member code and drop it here and remove the placeholder that I had set in from before. So our letter is now complete, and this letter is basically a letter that is going from the president to the people who have enrolled, telling them which group they have been assigned to and what is their member code essentially, plus a little more information about the group, the theme of the group, and who is chairing the group. So we have created this letter. Let us insert a date. So insert and go to field and then come here and put in a date and then maybe right align it, then double click on it and choose a format that is usually seen in letters. So we are done now. We have a small address block on top and we have a date, and then we have all these things that are here. So let us just check this out, and as we move forward, number one, so it's just coming here and replacing all these things, and it's saying that we note with interest that you have a degree in engineering. And so for the first person,
Mr. Kumar. The degree is engineering. His last name is Kumar. So all that has come in here and it has been substituted for the first letter. And then it goes on to say that we would like to make you a member of our climate technology group, which deliberates on climate issues related to technology based solutions. So that is the theme of the group. And the group is chaired by this particular person, and your member code is this. So it's just simply picking up from the fields that we had given in our address list and substituting it for the first recipient. When we move on to number 2, it has the same letter, but then it has replaced all the fields for the second recipient. So it has taken up the correct title, and then it's just coming here and saying that this person has been allotted the science behind climate change group, and the group is chaired by this particular person. It's been allocated the climate science group, the theme of which is science behind climate change, and the chair is this person. This is the member code, and likewise for the third person as well. So, if there were many more people in this database, the same would have happened to all of them. Now we have 3 choices to conclude this activity. One is that we can just simply come here and save all the merged documents. So let's just try to do that. And it says you can save it as a single large document. So what it does is that each letter will be placed inside a single document, but it will be one page. So you can just simply copy that document on a pen drive and walk to a printer and print all those letters out, and then maybe put them in an envelope and send them across. And so we can just simply come here and save documents, and you can just simply give it a name and save it. And when you open up that file, you will see that all these letters are placed inside one single file. This is exactly the same thing, but it just opens up the file for you and you can make edits to individual letters. So let us try this out. It has put all those letters into one single file, and if you say, for example, wanted to write something specific for one particular person, you can then just simply reach that page and write something specific for that person. But as you can see, it's put all those letters in a single file, and you can just simply save this file and take it to a printer and print it. So essentially these two are the same. This one simply provides you an opportunity by opening up the file to edit individual letters, but you can do that later on with this as well. The third one visualizes a scenario that you want to print these letters right now and a printer is connected to your computer or available to your computer. So when you click on this, it just simply opens the print. You could either print it to PDF or to any other printer and just press print, and all the letters will get printed. This one is an important one, and using this you can actually send this to an email address. The only thing is that you have to match this with the email address. If not, then all you have to do is just simply scroll through the list of fields and pick up the one that is having the email address, and then you have to type in a subject here and then just simply send documents. Now there's a caveat, and the caveat here is that LibreOffice must be connected to email. So this happens in 2 ways. One is that you have an email client like Outlook. LibreOffice then just pushes all these emails to your client, and the client then pushes this forward to the recipients. So for example, if you have a client like Outlook set up, and when you press this button, it will push all these emails into the outbox of your email client, and then the email client will keep pushing them out one by one. One of the great things about LibreOffice 7 Writer or LibreOffice in general is that it can actually directly connect to your Gmail account. So in order for you to do that, you'll have to set this up. So to set up your email, you have to go to Tools, and then you have to choose Options, the last item on the menu, and then you will have to come down and expand LibreOffice Writer, and then just choose Mail Merge Email, and you will see a little dialog box here. So you have to write your name, and then you have to write your Gmail address. This could also be any other online email like Outlook or whatever else you are using, but then you will have to find out some parameters. So I'm just showing you with Gmail. So you have to write your name, then you have to type in your Gmail address, whatever that is. Then you have to give some details of the outgoing SMTP server. So these details are available from Google. For Google, it is universally smtp.gmail.com. So you can use the exact same words if you are using Gmail, and you can use the exact same port, which is 587. And then you must make sure that this is ticked. What you must also do is to just simply come here and click on server authentication, and then click the first box and choose this option here. The outgoing mail server SMTP requires separate authentication, and then again type in your email address, this time also your password, and then just simply go ahead and press OK. So when you do this, and if everything is correct, you are set up from this end. You have to make sure that you have a few settings that you have to set up through your Gmail account as well. So let's have a quick look at that. From the Gmail end, just open up your Gmail account and just simply come here and click on this settings box and then choose see all settings. So this opens up settings for you. So you can just come here and choose forwarding and pop IMAP. Click on this. The first thing that you want to do is to come down and enable IMAP. So just click on enable and then just go ahead and press save changes. So once you have done that, you can go back and see if the settings are in effect. You will see this in green color. It says status IMAP is enabled. So the settings are in effect. The second thing that you have to do, and this is the last thing that you have to do on the Gmail end to activate or connect LibreOffice, is to just simply come here and check on manage your accounts. So click on security and then just scroll right down till you see this less secure app access. So by default this is turned off. Now this is something that Google doesn't recommend, but as long as you know which app you are connecting to, I think it should be okay. And the second thing is that you can keep it turned on till such time that you have kind of done your mail merge. You can always come back and switch this off after your job is done. So as we are connecting to a well-known software, we will just simply click here and switch this on. So these are just two settings that you have to do from the Google end, and you are good to go. You can now use the email feature. So if everything has been done properly, you can just come here and click on test settings. And if everything is fine, this is what you should see. And if you see this, you are good to go. Your LibreOffice now directly connected to your Gmail account. All you have to do is to just cancel all this. And then you can just come here and click on send email messages. And you can just type in your subject for climate action group. And then all you have to do is to just press send documents. So the moment you do that, it will try to send messages to all the recipients, and you will see a small progress bar that is showing you how many mails it has sent. So if there are many, then you'll have to be patient. It will do this slowly, but it'll keep pushing these mails to your Gmail account, and then you can actually see them in the outbox or sent box of your Gmail once they have actually been sent. So I'm not going to do that because I'm working with some fictitious addresses here, but that is how it is going to work. So this is how you can mail merge. It's a very powerful tool. You can sort these letters also if you wanted to, from A to Z or Z to A. When you click on this, this is where the effect is going to be. If you say, for example, you wanted to find out only some particular people, if this database was very big, you can apply a filter here. So this is auto filter. If you are looking for people who are from a particular city like New York, so you can click on this particular cell and then just click on auto filter. So if there were many people from New York, they would all show up here. So this gives you some capability to search your database. So that's all there is to mail merge in LibreOffice. It's a very powerful tool. you can make good use of it. Thanks a lot for watching.